When we look at the battle to stay in the Premier League, are we looking at a proverbial League of Five at the moment?
I think it's fair to say that is the way it looks at the moment. That's not to say one or two others couldn't get drawn into it, but it certainly looks as though it's 5 teams fighting to stay out that bottom 3, and obviously Bolton Wanderers being one of them. We have to make sure that we go and correct that, and the only way to do that is to win your games in the remaining 11 matches.
Late January, you beat Liverpool in the league, had a great result against Swansea the week after in the Cup, held Arsenal. Why do you feel that league form hasn't gone well since then?
Well, I think you have to give balance to it and recognise that we've had some tough fixtures since January began. We've played 8 games, 5 of them away from home in the Barclays Premier League, and again the 3 home games that we have, Liverpool at home, Arsenal at home, and last time out when first half we underperformed against Wigan. So, but there's no doubt, as you alluded to earlier, with those performances against Liverpool, Arsenal, Everton away, that we can certainly get to our best and win points and do enough to stay in the Barclays Premier League short term. And then within that, everything that we're putting in place at the football club can fall into place. So there's no doubt that there's 11 huge games ahead of us, starting on Saturday at home against Queen's Park Rangers, biggest game of the season bar none. We have to make sure that we're ready to give our best and win that game. If we win the game, we also know as well, given the way the other fixtures are, that will move us out of the bottom 3. So it's a huge incentive. And equally, Queen's Park Rangers will have their own incentive to try and move away. It is a proverbial 6-pointer, but that's why we love the Barclays Premier League, because every game is a huge game, week in, week out.
Do you scratch your head sometimes when you analyse performances like Liverpool at home, like Stoke City at home, when you played exceptionally well? Do you wonder, why have we not produced that more often, and what do you do to replicate those type of performances?
No, I think we've got to understand that the position we're in the league, we're certainly not enjoying it, but I think we know the extenuating circumstances that's led to it. I mean, at the start of the season when we started with Queen's Park Rangers, and then we played the top 5 clubs in the next 5 weeks thereafter. We were without at that point probably 5 guaranteed, certainly not guaranteed, but 5 players who would normally start in your first 11. Through horrendous injuries and everything else. So I think you've got to give balance to it. You're not sitting here with somebody that spent £50 million and the team's not came together. You're sitting here where somebody that's come in over 2 years ago when a team was second bottom of the league and probably in profit in terms of the ones, the outgoings to the ones that have come in. But within that, our younger players have continued to get better. And that's how we've got, as I say, push ourselves forward as a football club, and that's what we'll do. So short term, there's no getting away from it. We have to look sure that we stay in the Barclays Premier League, but we have enough quality in the dressing room to do that.
It's not often that a manager would say a 6-pointer. If a journalist says a 6-pointer, the manager normally says there's only 3 games for any game of football. So obviously underlines the fact that the magnitude of this weekend's fixture. Well,
I think both of us recognise, and Mark will know this as well, that because, as I said before, after this game there's only obviously 10 games left there. Now it's not, we're not sitting here in September talking, we're talking now as we get to the business end of the season, and we all understand what's involved in each and every game, and Saturday provides us an opportunity to move out of the bottom 3 with those points available to us, and that's what we have to strive to do, to make sure we're at our best to get those points. And if we do that, it gives, as we all know, that winning feeling, a smile on your face, and as I say, a reward for our fans who have been magnificent all season long. And so that's the incentive looking forward to Saturday.
You've competed against Mark Hughes' sides many times before. What sort of a challenge does he pose as a manager?
Well, every challenge you play against any side is a challenge. I mean, Mark's a terrific manager. He's shown that. Showed his quality at Blackburn, at Manchester City, at Fulham. Somebody we've got a lot of time for, but equally, come the game, there'll be 2 teams doing their utmost to win those points, and that's what's important, what the players do when they cross that white line and deliver on the pitch.
Moving on to other issues, Greg Wild is available from Glasgow Rangers as a free agent. Are you interested in him?
Well, Greg Wild is a player that, it's, as you know, we had an interest earlier back in August. He's a talented young player who probably has been caught up in the turmoil at Glasgow Rangers in terms of his performances have maybe been a little bit up and down, whereas last season when I seen him, There's no doubt he was on the top of his form. But again, he's a young player. At this moment in time, as we sit here, I haven't spoke to anybody regarding Greg, whether it be his representative or anybody else. So that's where we're at the moment. Whether that changes, then who knows? So I think time will tell on that one.
Potentially, could he be a welcome addition or a useful addition to your squad in the battle against relegation?
Well, potentially anybody could be a useful addition to your squad. We've named our 25-man squad, so I think they would need to be, and as representatives will probably understand this as well with Greg Wild, there would need to be some FIFA directive on it, because obviously it's extenuating circumstances. So I think you would need to await what the outcome of that is before anybody acts upon it.